All right, what's up, everybody? I'm here with my buddy David Antonio Garcia. We're gonna do a little studio tour and a bunch of other fun stuff. So come along for the fun. Let's do it.
That's right. Welcome to my studio. I guess the official name would be Intentional Sound. Intentional Sound's more of like a service, so it's sort of like a abstract entity. But for now, today, it is the studio name for this home studio that I have.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you do live sound and studio recordings, right?
That's right. So I got a bunch of just live sound just kind of piled up in this cabinet right here that I used to have for just records, but as I've sold off a lot of them over the years, it's just become more and more as like stored for my gear in general. And
yeah, you got everything nicely organized and stuff. Look at that 25-foot snake, 58 wireless mic.
That's right. Yeah, you gotta be organized, or else you just like lose your mind when you are looking for stuff. So
yeah,
that's why I have stuff organized.
that is true. Got a nice little printer there too for printing stuff.
That's right. Yeah, I do a lot of show promotion too with Intentional Sound. So like I use the printer a lot for contracts and flyers and other things like that. So it's a workhorse in that regard.
There you go. The heart of the studio right here is the printer.
Exactly. Yep.
Nice. You got other cool stuff. I see you got like that cool cart for gigs.
So here we have this cart that my sister got me for Christmas this past year because I was just like breaking my back when it comes to live gigs. So like I was glad to like receive that, and it's saved my life so many times already, like just lugging all these heavy speakers and stuff. So it's been really great just to have that.
Yeah, these speakers are huge. Really, 15 inches, 12?
12 inches. These are Alto TS212s. I have 3 of them just because like they were pretty easy to find for pretty cheap. So very thankful that I've been able to work and do a lot of good gigs with those. So they've been workhorses on their own.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Got some fancy stands and a nice Blu-ray collection down there.
That's right, yeah. I'm a big film person, so like I got a lot of DVDs that I just love, and so there they are for just my viewing pleasure, even though I don't have a TV in this room. So I gotta change that soon.
No well, you have a monitor.
I have a monitor, but I don't have a Blu-ray player connected to it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this is where I keep all my stands, my speaker stands, my mic stands, this big studio stand I use for like heavy-duty microphones, and this gig bag I have for drum hardware and microphone stands for when I go. I actually need to buy a second one because lately I've been doing a lot of gigs where I need both a bag for microphone stands and a bag for like hardware for drums. So yeah.
Wow, nice. Well done. Well, that's a cool little live corner there.
Yeah.
I guess moving along, we got a nice little cable wall.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So we got this little cable wall. I love being organized. I don't just like my cables being all over the place. You know, I've been in studios where they just have it in a crate, and it drives me crazy. So that's why it's nice to just have this. I have this cable wrangler right here that I bought at NAMM 2022. And I bought it because at one of the studios I worked at, they had this for their organizing. And I fell in love with it. And it's actually really great for me to just like pull off, and I can just take this to live sound gigs just already like that, just good to go.
Yeah, not even in a case or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, fancy.
And then just got some extra black cables and instrument cables. Got some small XLRs. What else? A headphone adapter, speaker cable. So I got most of what I need right here.
Yeah, some cool guitars and stuff too.
Yeah, some of these guitars, they're actually going to be leaving soon because I don't use them anymore. But here we have a Lucero nylon string that I bought. I should also note, too, that I'm a left-handed player, and these guitars are right-handed. So I have these a lot for clients to use, but most clients bring their own guitars. So like these are just like a backup plan, really, if anything. But yeah, this nylon string right here, it was like, you know, a garage sale purchase, and it served well. Like it's been used on a couple things, more for like a percussive element rather than its musicality of it. And then right here we have this Godin set or hollow body arch top, and it's got like this like very DIY DI built in. So it's pretty bad. Like it literally just picks up the high end of this guitar. There's like no body to it, so it sounds pretty bright. So yeah. It's there at least. But it's a really nice guitar for just tracking like acoustically. It gives it a nice flavor outside of like standard acoustic guitars with the sound hole in the middle.
Right. Nice. Got a nice electric guitar too.
Yeah, and then right here we have this Epiphone Les Paul Special. This used to belong to this artist I work with called Brianna Harley, and they got rid of this guitar just because like they never used it or played it, so it's just kind of been sitting here at my studio. Sometimes a client will use it, but you know, it's not often that Les Paul is necessarily needed in a lot of recordings I do, especially with humbuckers. So yeah, it's just kind of been here too.
Nice. I find this little pedal board setup very interesting here.
Yeah, it's like a pedal board wall, I guess you could say. They're not connected or anything like that. They're just here as for me to just like take off and replace with whatever pedals I do need for other things. Sometimes I need my big muff, sometimes I need a fuzz or a distortion, or yeah, so it's pretty much just here instead of just like sitting in boxes. It's a nice like little presentation, I guess.
Yeah, the big muff, solid tuner, EQ.
Yeah.
I like this one. This one's cool.
Yeah, the EQ is really cool.
Got all these fancy knobs.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it back.
And we even got this little phaser right here that belongs to a client of mine, Eddie Navega. And he just kind of left it here one day and hasn't picked it up since. I've told him I have it, so
yeah,
I don't know why he doesn't want it, but I have it.
That's funny.
And then here we have a Barber Electronics overdrive. And it's pretty nice. It's not transparent. It's not like super dirty. It's somewhere just kind of in between. Maybe like a blues driver, but not really sure about that. So.
And then we have the rest of your studio setup here. This is quite a setup, man.
Yeah. So here we have, you know, a very efficient setup, mostly for mixing. That's primarily what I do in this room. But you know, it's also nice for tracking too. Here as my main monitors, I have my Yamaha NS10s, and they're powered by an amp. I forget what the brand it is, but some cheap amp that some guy gave me for free. So I was like, okay, sure.
Where's the amp at?
The amp is actually right here in the middle, or right below the desk. Can I pull it out?
See.
Yeah, it's just sitting there with all these cables hanging on it.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they're connected to the amp that's right below there. And these are my main monitors. I used to have a pair of Atom F5s.
Is that those guys right there?
Those guys right there, actually. And I've been trying to sell them, but no one actually wants them. So I might just, you know, put them back because I've actually been kind of missing them. At least like the Atom sound compared to the NS10. So that's why I would want to switch back to those.
Is it a more like hi-fi sound?
Yeah, it just seems like more, I guess, yeah, a little bit more natural in a way. Like the NS10s are really great and really surprisingly like flat in this room, in my opinion. But like these just add a special character to them. I think it's just the additional air quality to what they have to offer with the ribbons inside them.
Yeah, the ribbon tweeters?
Yeah.
Because they go up to like 35K, something like that?
I think so, yeah. These are... besides the A7Xs, like these were part of that series with the ribbons, you know, with that high
frequency extension.
Frequency, exactly, yeah. And then right here we have this Aventone mix cube that I would also use too. I loved this a lot when I was checking my mixes in mono, but you know, I just decided just to get rid of all of this and just switch back to the NS10s because
solely the NS10s.
Why not? And they've been working out great. I've been doing some pretty good work with them, but I do think that I would like to go back to those to just kind of like compare, just because it has been a while since I've used those. So yeah. And
so these batteries here give you extra power for the Aventones, right?
That's
like
right.
Extra 20 watts, something like that.
That's right.
Yeah,
correct.
Definitely. You don't need a power supply. You just need like 50 batteries.
That's right. Yep.
Nice.
And then my main interface is a Focusrite 18920. I've had this thing for probably like 6 years at this point. I bought it brand new, and it's one of the few pieces in this room that I actually bought brand new. Most of everything in this room is used, but yeah, I just have this 8-channel interface just as my main interface from my computer to here, and then outputting to my speakers. But from in between the interface and the speakers, I have this monitor controller right here. It's the Mackie Big Knob. And I really love this one compared to the small one just because of the multiple connections that it has within it.
Oh, yeah, all the different options and stuff?
Yeah, like with this one I could connect multiple sources, like my record player that's right there, which I actually have right here. And I could also just, you know, switch to my computer mix and all sorts of different headphone outputs here too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I love the fact that you just have the volume controller right here. Oh, does that keep spinning?
Yes, it does keep spinning. It's a nice character to the thing. But I got it for free. That's the thing. Like,
yeah.
I found this thing for free, and, you know, I haven't looked back.
That's great.
Yeah.
See, you've got a mute button.
That's right.
Like, even though it goes to max all of a sudden, you can just hit mute instead of that.
That's right, yep.
Yeah.
And then I've been using the dim control a lot, too, for, you know, when I just, you know, need to monitor a little bit quietly, so then I'll just hit that instantly. Or mono if I need to check in mono, but lately I haven't been doing that as often, but I have the option.
Yeah, got a bunch of cool inputs and outputs. I have this like the single knob version where it's like this big.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah, it's passive mine, so you don't need power because this one needs power.
Yes, this one does need power.
Yeah, but that's cool because you got all these fancy LEDs and stuff that you can give you more information on things.
That's right.
Yeah.
And from there, I mean, I just have everything connected to this power conditioner right here. I used to have a power sequencer, but I gave that to the nonprofit I'm a part of, B&B Music Studio, and I just decided to buy myself another one, and that's why I have this one.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's got these cool, fancy little pull-out knobs.
Exactly. Like
So you can see what you're writing down here.
the guy that I bought it from, he was like, "Oh yeah, the lights don't work." So I was like, "All right." So he sold it to me at a cheaper price, but they do work. They just have a switch in the back for you to like turn on so that they could actually work.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I have that.
That's pretty dope. You got a little RNC too. How you liking the RNC?
It's pretty nice, actually.
Get this USB stick out of the way.
It's pretty nice. I actually don't use it a lot, but I do have it for when I do want to like test out like printing my mixes through this compressor.
Oh, you've done that.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
But I still favor the compressors I do tend to use for my mixes in general. So this compressor is really nice for like how clean it is, but I do prefer the other plugins I do have. So, but it is there. And the main computer that I run off of everything right here, it's the Mac Mini, probably 2020 year question mark. And it's actually the lowest quality, or I shouldn't say that.
Like lowest tier.
It's the lowest tier Mac Mini that you could get.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly held up extremely well for music production, whether it be for like, you know, pretty heavy duty sessions or a lot of big tracking that I'm doing as well. Like it's worked out pretty well with its, I think 4 gigabytes of RAM and like.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Maybe 8, but I'm pretty sure it's 4. We could even just look right
Yeah,
now.
let's check it out. That's hilarious.
8 gigabytes. There you go. So 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. 4 gigabytes.
Yeah, right?
That's 256 storage?
Yeah, 256 storage. So yeah,
Nice.
pretty good overall.
Right.
And I have it like this upside down because
I was wondering that. Like, what is the black thing on the top? Oh, that's a stand.
I have it upside down because I was told that apparently Wi-Fi connection's better when you have it flipped upside down. I haven't really seen much of a difference, so I just kind of left it like that. So there it is.
It looks kind of cool. It looks like a plate.
Yeah,
like
right?
A really fancy plate.
Yeah. So right now it's just kind of sitting like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's rad. I like the cool little Back to the Future Lego.
That's probably the oldest thing in this room besides me. It's a Lego that I built when I was maybe 8 years old, and Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time, so that's why it's a great like piece for me to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so let's talk acoustics. Looks like you have a cloud here. You got some corner bass trap. Oh, cool. You got still a little CD up there too.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So like acoustically, this room surprisingly sounds good to me. It's a fairly dead room, and acoustically, there's not a lot going on, but there is stuff going on. We have 6 or 5 acoustic panels.
Got a massive absorber right here. Look at that.
That's right. We do have my bed as the absorber. And yeah, we have about, I want to say 5 acoustic panels that I actually bought from my friend Tristan right here.
Nice.
And they've been really great. I was just holding on to them for Tristan for a while, but I eventually just bought them off of him.
I didn't have space in my place for it.
Exactly.
GIK?
That's right, GIK.
GIK Acoustics.
Wonderful. And we have a couple corner bass traps over there in the corner.
Also GIK, right?
Exactly, also GIK. And I think they have done like a pretty big difference in the way that this room sounds. Maybe just a little bit more controlled, not making it sound as big.
Yeah.
And then we have this cloud up here that I built with my dad, which it's literally an ice cream sandwich. Like, it's 2 acoustic tiles and then 2 layers of foam, I think, and then like a layer of, I think it was like a towel or something. So it's a pretty thick boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, and then we wrapped it in an aluminum frame, and then just wrapped it over with some fabric, and that's the piece.
Voila.
Voila.
Acoustics.
That's right.
And then you have a window back behind this one, right?
Yeah, so this is actually a window back here, but behind it, it's literally just facing an apartment complex. So it's like not even a view.
Yeah.
So that's why I just kind of like close it off with this moving blanket right here.
There's like no point to that.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's rad. And then we swing on over here and we have your rig.
Yeah, so this is like my main guitar rig for my band Ceramic. We're like a shoegaze indie rock outfit, and primarily, you know, it's just a lot of noise making and kind of grungy. So that's mostly what my pedal board consists of. We have, you know, pretty simple pedals, like just like Boss and some Earthquaker, and that's really it. We have a tuner that goes into a rainbow machine, and the rainbow machine is controlled by this expression pedal. And then we have it going into this fuzz, the Big Muff. And then we have this delay, the DD3, going into the afterneath. Then going into this super chorus. I used to play a Roland Jazz Core 77, and I did like the sound of it a lot. But then my friend Tristan wanted it back. So therefore, I was like, you know what? The chorus made by the same company as Roland, like it should sound the same. So that's why I put it at the end of the chain.
Right.
And then it just goes into my Vox AC15 and sounds amazing. Like, I love this amp. This is probably my favorite amp that definitely that I've owned so far.
It's AC15, right?
Yes, a Vox AC15.
Nice.
And it's an extremely versatile amp for clean tones, for overdriven especially. And I love it. It's plenty loud enough for a lot of the venues that I especially play too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, that looks to be better. I guess the closet. Is there anything cool in the closet we should know about besides maybe skeletons or whatever?
As far as the closet, I mean, that's where you'll see like a lot of like my clothing, whatever, tables. But I do have like my drum kit. Oh, I do have my drum kit right here that I do use for some live gigs that I provide the backline for. And there's the hardware. We got some tables. We got some extra drum heads. We even have a PA right here that my friend David owns, and I just hold on to him for him. I've told him like I'm gonna sell it for you, and he's like, nah, don't do it. So, yeah.
Seems to be there's a lot of like gear borrowing and never returning around here.
Pretty much, yeah. So a lot of people just leave their stuff with me, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. You get to use it and stuff.
Yeah.
That's rad.
But as far as gear, that's pretty much it in this closet. The rest is just clothes and
Get some fold-up tables in there too.
exactly, yeah.
Nice.
They're especially useful for the gigs that I do in live sound where I have to provide my own table, or what else? A couple of like the bigger events where they do need tables for I don't know, meetings or whatever. So I'll just bring those along.
Very handy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So here we have the microphones that I also just generally use. I have them separated, dynamic and condenser. I primarily have like a lot of microphones that purposely switch between like live and studio use. For example, like I have two 58s. I have two 609 microphones. I also have these Tom mics that I bought from a friend of mine for like $20, and
PGs.
well, like they're not even that. They're an off-brand called Heim or Heimel, or Haimu, as you can see right there. Yeah, right.
Haimu.
Haimu.
Haimu. It's awesome.
But yeah, these are really great mics that I bought for cheap, like $20, and they sound amazing. And I love them for toms and even for snares. They have sounded pretty good. I've even taken them off of the clip and I've put it in front of a bass amp, and they sound pretty nice.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
I guess that's a cool sleeper, huh?
exactly. Yeah,
What was the model number?
HDM 62s. And I'm pretty sure even if you buy them brand new, which I don't think they're that easy to find, they could still be pretty cheap if I'm not mistaken. I got an 835, and then I have an SM7B, and I have this amazing pop filter that Tristan did not want, and Tristan gave to me instead. And I love that I have it. It's actually really nice that I do.
Yeah.
I will say that it does affect the sound of the microphone. Not drastically, but enough. I drink a lot of ginger ale.
Yeah. What do we got? This great value ginger ale.
Yeah,
So we're sponsored by it today, folks.
that's right. But yeah, I love using this microphone a lot. I tend to use this. This is like my go-to mic that I bring in mobile sessions that I use all the time. Because a lot of my mobile sessions that I do, I tend to record just vocals or guitars. So this tends to be a really great choice for all types of vocals, acoustic guitars, electric guitars. Sometimes bass amps I've used it on, and sometimes on drums too, for like an overhead or whatever. So it's been a really great workhorse mic in that regard.
Yeah.
I tend to pair it with this gain booster called the Cathedral Pipes Durham Mach 2. And I didn't go with a cloud lifter because I wanted something a little bit cheaper and not as, I guess, renowned, I guess. Like I wanted something a little bit more homemade, I suppose. So these ones are from Huntington Beach, I think, which are, you know, close by. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, pretty well made in that regard. And they're not super noisy. And I think they add a pretty good characteristic to this mic.
Interesting.
These are some Japanese mics that I once bought off of someone in OfferUp. These are called Lanier 250s. These are a copy of, I think, SM56s, which they were, or 54s, I think. They were just like mics made by Shure that, you know, still exist and are basically SM57s, but just different, I suppose. And these mics are actually pretty good. If I run out of like 57s or 58s, I tend to use these as my plan B or plan C. And they worked pretty well. When I bought them, they were marketed to me as like good tom mics, but I didn't really like how they sounded on toms. So I tend to use these more for like guitar cabinets or live vocals. So
Nice. That's a cool one. Do you have any ribbon mics?
I do not own any ribbon mics at the moment.
Yeah, neither do I.
I would love to own something by SE. I forget what the exact model is, but SE makes a really solid ribbon mic that I've used before, and it's really great. I'm a big lover of the Royer 121, and even something as great as like the AEA R88. Really amazing mic for just multiple uses in that regard too.
Yeah.
And as far as dynamic mics, I also have two that don't fit in this drawer. I have these 421s who are vintage actually. Not so vintage that they're the gray color, but they're vintage in that they just have a different design compared to the modern day 421. And I really love how these sound. I think they do sound a little bit different compared to the modern ones, but I can't necessarily describe what the exact difference is. So
Yeah.
but they're really great. I have two of them. I got them both for the price of one because someone messed up on the pricing on OfferUp, so
Ooh,
that was
lucky
great.
you.
Yeah, right. And then as far as condensers, I don't have as many, but I'm working towards just seeing like what I am looking for in a condenser. But these are just ones that I've been able to work a lot with over time. This was my first small diaphragm that I ever bought. It's a Audio-Technica 2021. Really great microphone. It has a pretty wide cardioid range, which is interesting. So it's really great as a mono overhead, and also really nice as like a percussion microphone too, for like shakers or tambourines or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then with that, I also have the Audio-Technica 2035
Ah, yes.
that my friend Tristan also recommended to me.
What a beaut.
And I've been considering letting go of it actually because I don't use it a ton, especially nowadays. But it is nice to have for when I do need something that's a large diaphragm condenser like this. But it is nice to have, and overall very solid.
Did I tell you I shot that out with the C414?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, that sounded really close. I was really, really surprised.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And then I also have this Warm Audio 47 Junior. I tend to use this microphone a lot as my room mic.
I like you to label it front.
Exactly. Just because like I have this philosophy that anything that I own, or just anything audio related, it should be easy enough to understand that if I die, someone can just pick it up and know what to do with it, you know?
Yeah.
So like in this case, I label it as a front because you can't really tell what is the front, because the logo is in both sides, you know?
Right.
But regardless, that's why I label it.
And if I die, I get to inherit all this gear.
That's
and
true.
I'll know where the front is.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I typically love this microphone a lot as my room mic for drums, mostly for the figure-of-8 pattern that it has.
Oh, fancy.
So if the drum kit is in front of us, then I'll just face it on its side, and that way it picks up the sides of the width of the drum kit.
Wow, that's a cool tip. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that out.
So I tend to favor that a lot with any microphone that I work with. I try to have a figure-of-8 microphone in front of the drum kit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
yeah,
That's all your mics, huh?
pretty much all my mics.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, this will be a series of videos, so join us for the next couple of videos. We're going to check out a song called Freak Beat by Sunday Morners.
Mm-hmm.
I want to check out that session because I like that song a lot. It's a cool song.
Yeah.
That he engineered, right? You recorded, mixed, and mastered?
I actually just mixed and mastered.
Okay.
Recording-wise was made by the guitarist of the band, Max.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You guys recorded that at FTG, right? Something like that?
No, he actually recorded it in his garage.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. Well, you'll see some more of that later. And
Yeah.
then we're going to do a frequency response analysis of this space here, see what the NS10 sound like.
That's right.
Measured, fancy, science.
Yep.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Be sure to comment on what your favorite piece of gear of David's gear is.
That's right.
This is gonna be so annoying to edit. I'm so terrible at this.